Ahoy!
Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Bottom of the Stream.
Welcome aboard.
I'm Adam.
I'm Nick.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, very good.
Any gossip?
Why are we here?
Why are we here? What, on this existential plane?
No, I'm not getting that deep. Well, why are we here?
We're here to talk about another rubbish film.
We are.
We are Bottom of the Stream, I guess, and
Yeah.
we talk about things that nobody else is talking about at the bottom of Netflix.
And hopefully we'll find a diamond.
A diamond in the rough, which we do sometimes.
Yes.
But sometimes we don't.
Yeah. I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Good, I'm glad. I'm also good. Thank you for not asking.
It's because I've been talking to you for the last hour.
True, yeah, we have just had some pizza. It was well nice. Just watched some TV, chilled out for a bit. We haven't done that for a while, so It's been nice.
What was your question originally?
Have you got any gossip?
Gossip. I've got some Netflix news and stuff.
Cool. Shall we just do that then?
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. Let's go into Netflix news. What have you got?
I would like to know
Okay.
if you have seen the trailer for a movie called Hillbilly Elegy.
I have not seen the trailer for Hillbilly Elegy.
So, it is...
What's an elegy?
Isn't it like a song?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
It is going to be Netflix's next effort at award season.
Oh, okay.
It's directed by Ron Howard.
Oh, yeah. So definitely an award grabber then.
And it stars Amy Adams,
Cool.
who's been nominated for an Oscar 6 times,
She has.
and Glenn Close, who's been nominated for an Oscar 7 times.
Wow. But high starring
Hasn't
cast.
won one.
Have either of them won one?
I don't believe so.
Wow.
And it's about a young lad who's called home, and it's a sort of family drama with all these different generations of family.
Yeah.
And Amy Adams is his mum, and Glenn Close is his grandma.
Okay.
I extremely encourage you to check out the trailer or some pictures,
Really?
because Glenn Close
Yeah.
looks like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Really?
Yes.
I need to see this now. Wow. Intentionally?
I presume not.
Wow.
Shall I try and find a picture? And
Yeah,
you
give
can
me a picture.
You can do a live reaction.
Yeah.
Maybe we could drop it in the Discord.
That's a good idea. We've got a Discord now.
Yeah, talk about that while I look for this picture.
I will. I'll put the link in the show notes, and then people can join if they want to, and we can chat to them.
I've just put Glenn House instead of
That's
Glenn
not her
Close.
name. Glenn House will be somebody else.
Are you ready?
More than ready. Wow, she really does. That's crazy. Really, really does.
I just thought it was hilarious, and it's supposed to be like a really serious, like Oscar-winning family drama, and she just really looks like Mrs. Doubtfire.
I guess we're coming around to Oscar season, aren't we? Quickly.
Yeah,
It's going to be such a weird awards this year. Also, there's nothing to award.
no.
There's literally been no films. Netflix are going to sweep the board.
Do you think that? Well, maybe that won't happen.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll have a virtual Oscars.
Who knows? No, I mean literally, maybe that
cancel
won't
them at
happen
all?
at all. Yeah,
Oh, I don't know about that. And they're a bit too precious about it for them to cancel
yeah
it.
they're also very precious. Well, they have been historically precious about not giving awards to streaming services.
True.
So,
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Award season next year.
yeah.
We've got nothing to give awards to. Tenet will sweep the board.
Well, it's the one thing that
The one film that came out
to
this year.
cinemas.
Just give it to everything.
Don't know. Well, it's something to keep our eye on because I'm not sure what will happen there.
No, not me. It's going to be interesting.
Maybe Glenn Close, dressed up as Robin Williams, dressed up as a woman, will win it.
Maybe. She's got to be favourite. I don't think there's any women in Tenet, is there? Do you know this is a little piece of Netflix news. Today is 5 years since the release of the first ever Netflix original film.
Wow, that's cool.
There you go.
Cool fact.
Beast with No Name. Beast of No Nation.
Okay.
Not Beast with No Name.
I think I have heard that of.
Yeah, that was the first Netflix original film. Came out a year ago today. 5 years ago today.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I've not even heard of it. So
I feel like I've heard the name.
I wonder how many there's been. I did try and find how many Netflix original films there's been since then.
Okay.
A lot.
You
But I
couldn't find a
couldn't
number.
find a number, but there has been a lot.
Mind you, that's a bit like, was it last week I was telling you about the series,
Yes.
number of original series, and I couldn't, again, I found a huge list.
But yeah, I didn't want to sit there and count them all.
But someone had written a huge list and then not
It's got to be in the hundreds.
used the sum function on Excel.
The easiest function of all.
Literally, it's there. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough spreadsheet talk.
There must be, there's got to be in the hundreds by now.
Yeah, easily,
Netflix,
I would have thought.
Original films. It's got to be.
Even if
all
you,
within 5 years. It's crazy, isn't it? How quick Netflix has actually grown.
yeah, especially
It's
when you
actually mental.
if you count all the different offshoots in various countries.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crazy. Got any more Netflix news?
I have, but I'm throwing it to you because you've got the same bit.
Oh, okay. I'm doing that bit now.
Yeah.
Don't Look Up. I knew you'd look up when I said that. Have you heard of Don't Look Up? You obviously have, because we've got the same bit.
I know that dogs can't look up.
Dogs can't look up. That's true. Don't Look Up is going to be Adam McKay's next film.
Yes.
So he's like the comedy director, isn't he? He did do things like Step
primarily
Brothers.
He
dabbles in
started
comedy.
off. He has become a bit more serious, but yeah, he certainly came along with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
At the start of his career.
Anyway, Don't Look Up is Adam McKay's next film.
Yes.
It's coming out next year. It's about a pair of astronauts who try to warn everyone on Earth that a giant meteorite will destroy the planet in 6 months.
That's a pretty cool
Good concept. It's coming to cinemas. It is going to be a Netflix thing, but it is coming to cinemas, providing they're open by then. And it has a cast.
Yes.
Have you seen this cast?
It's quite the list, isn't it?
It's insane. The amount of money Netflix must have put to that.
Go on.
Do you want a list?
Yes, please.
Adam McKay has assembled a cast including Jennifer Lawrence.
Yep.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Strong start.
Kate Blanchett.
Okay.
Jonah Hill. Himesh Patel. Timothy Chalamet, who is like
It Boy
at the minute. Ariana Grande.
Wow.
Kid Cudi. Matthew Perry. Thomas Sisley. I don't know that one. Which also joins the previously announced Rob Morgan.
Yeah. Wow.
That's an insane cast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's really insane. So yeah, it's going to be fun, I think. It looks good. It's a good premise and a great cast.
Yeah, definitely one to look
you
out
think
for.
Jonah Hill's slowly turning into Seth Rogen.
I
Look
don't
at
know
that
if
picture.
I've seen... Yeah, I mean, he's quite ginger there, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put that one in the Discord as well.
I don't know if it's the lighting or the...
It may be. He looks like Seth Rogen so much.
Quite slicked back as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting bit of Netflix news that's been revealed this week. They seem to be putting money behind big casts at the minute.
Sure.
Because nobody's got any work anywhere else.
Well, I guess so.
Any more Netflix news? I've got one more bit.
I've got one more. It is news. It is not Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So do you want me to go or you go?
You go.
So Disney Plus.
Yep.
So Disney announced this week that they're having a bit of a restructure. They're throwing a bit more efforts, time, money, and people onto their streaming services, which has got a lot of people worried in the movie industry. And
quite rightly, I think, as well.
They have announced that on Christmas Day, December the 25th, in case you weren't sure.
Know when Christmas Day is.
They don't move it.
Not very often.
They will release the
If it's ever going to get moved, it's going to be this year.
Yeah, true. They're going to release the next Pixar movie straight to Disney Plus.
Really? Behind a paywall or
no?
Straight to this
free
stream. Nice.
Well, free for existing subscribers.
Yes.
It is called Soul. It is about a jazz musician who is voiced by Jamie Foxx.
Good call.
And yeah, Christmas Day. There's your present from Mickey Mouse.
That's cool.
It's caused quite an uproar this week
really know where
from
I stand
cinemas.
on it. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good for the cinema industry that this keeps happening now. It's worrying, if anything else. If nothing else.
I mean,
I worry for the future of cinema.
Well, we don't know where we're going to be in a year.
We don't.
In terms of that.
Hopefully somewhere better than this.
Still waiting for James Bond to come out.
Well, I think we probably will be, won't we?
I
think it's like November next year, isn't it?
Don't know.
Yeah, I worry for the future of cinema. I hope it comes back. I really miss going to the cinema.
Yeah, so that's a pretty ballsy move.
It is, yeah, very ballsy. Fun. I've got one more piece of Netflix news.
Cool.
The Crown have revealed another trailer.
Okay, you love The Crown.
I seem to have Crown news every week. The Crown season 4 is coming on the 15th of November, so it's really soon now. They have released a trailer this week focusing mainly on the relationship with Diana and Charles.
Okay, yeah.
There are some Margaret Thatcher scenes in there, and there's a voiceover in this trailer.
Right.
And the voiceover is the actual speech by the Archbishop of Canterbury.
You nearly slipped on the cant bit then.
Yeah. From Charles and Diana's wedding. And it's the actual speech that he made on that day.
And they've turned it into like a...
They've put it over the top of the... Because he talks about weddings being for life and how they'll both live happily ever after as princess and princes.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to go really well.
What could go wrong?
I do not want you to mention that. We can't mention that again. But obviously it didn't end well. But I thought it was really interesting that they've actually used the actual speech.
Yeah.
Not like got somebody else to re-record it or anything. It's
funny how life works out.
It is. It's crazy, isn't it?
You're looking at me like...
Please don't say it. Please don't say it. Please don't say it. Can't do it 3 weeks in a row. Good. So that's it for Netflix news.
Cool.
Oh, there was another piece of news that's not Netflix related.
Right.
Dexter's coming back.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be excited.
Be excited, please.
I do want to be excited. I loved the first 4 series of Dexter. I didn't just dislike. I actively did not enjoy the last couple of years of Dexter.
The finale episode is an abomination.
It's not a good series. It's not
a good series. But the last episode is an abomination, and this is why I got excited about Dexter coming back, because it now gets to have an ending again.
We'll see.
We can forget that one even happened.
I mean, is it?
It's not coming to Netflix, so apologies.
No, but it is. It is the showrunner who was responsible for it for the first 4 years.
Yes.
So
the only cast member that's been announced so far is Michael C. Hall.
Do you think we're going to get told ignore the last 4 years?
I hope so. I will take that. I was saying to one of my mates earlier in the week, if they just forgot that final season happened and redid the final season, I'll be well happy.
Because they've called it a limited series, but it's 10 episodes. And they were only on 10 episodes.
Yeah, anyway, I think they were, yeah. I don't know why they're calling it a limited series. Whether it's because it's only coming back for one. Maybe. I would imagine they'll only come back for one.
Wow.
But I'm excited. I love Dexter. It's one of my favourite shows ever. And if any show deserves a better ending than it got, it is Dexter.
It is awful.
The finale episode is an abomination of TV. It's ridiculous. I wrote a blog about it once. I wonder if I could find it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was so angry I had to write it down. I was so angry when it happened. I wonder if I probably could find that somewhere. If I can, I'll put it up on the website.
Nothing's ever deleted. It'll be out there somewhere.
That's it. I don't know what that noise was.
There's a bee in it.
There's a bee in it.
That was a quite good impression.
I don't know where that came from. That's it for Netflix news.
Bruce Forsyth.
Oh, dear me. Well, I suppose we've got a laugh in the intro, because we're not going to join the talking about this film. Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream, Nick?
I have watched a few things this week, yep.
Cool. Hit me.
I can't because my phone's shut.
Oh.
I just need to remind myself. I've watched half of Ratched.
Half of it? Half of an episode or half of a series?
No, half of the series. So
thoughts so far?
In real personal
language.
language.
Did I say I finished it last week? I think I had finished it.
Three episodes.
Cool. Thoughts?
That's not what I expected.
It's really not, is it?
Like I've enjoyed it. It's intense.
It really is. It's
so
visceral.
If anyone was listening who's watched it, which is quite a lot of people,
yeah.
It's the third episode where you have the flashback scene with the doctor. You'll know what I mean if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It is like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
It's crazy.
But it's full on.
It is really full on. There's the guy from 13 Reasons Why, the kid.
Oh, okay.
He played Justin in 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
Brandon Flynn. But
my wife turns to me at the end of that episode and we were like, oh, should we watch something a bit more lighthearted now? But good. I mean, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the set design, it's incredible.
It really is.
But she's just walking. The hospital is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
The corridors and the.
Ryan Murphy really knows how to make a TV show look nice. He's been guilty in the past of not making them be good, but he does know how to make them.
Well, I will reserve final judgment until I've finished the series. But
I finished it now. I really enjoyed it, so it'll be interesting to see what you think.
Cool.
What have I been watching? Bly Manor, The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Yes.
Which is Mike Flanagan's new effort. The spiritual successor to The Haunting of Hill House is how he's described it. Yeah. Very spiritual. This also is not what I was expecting.
Okay.
I was expecting jumpy horror.
Yeah.
And I got psychological thriller.
Cool.
I wouldn't even class it as horror. I mean, there are ghosts in it, but they're not scary ghosts.
It's not necessarily a ghost story.
It is a ghost story. It's not a horror story.
Okay.
It takes ages to get going. The first 2 episodes, I was like, I'm not sure about this. Third one, I'm like, this is getting better. And then the 5th episode is incredible.
Oh, amazing.
It's like insanely good TV. Each episode doesn't focus on a main character, but there are episodes where one character is more prominent than any of the others. Okay. And the woman who's more prominent in that episode she plays it so well.
Cool.
So well. She's only like a minor character in the rest of it.
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's pretty much next on my list after we finish Rapture.
I've not finished it yet. It was longer than I thought. I thought I'd get it done by tonight, but there's 9 episodes and I thought there's only 6. So
9's a weird number.
It is a weird number
for a season, isn't it?
It is. I don't know if it's relevant in some way.
6, 8, 10.
Yeah, not 9's odd.
9's literally it's odd. Well done.
Thank you.
Maths.
But no, the 5th episode. If you can get to that, from there it just goes.
Cool.
It just really goes. It's really good.
Awesome.
I'm really enjoying it. Stalking Mike Flanagan. Talking of Mike Flanagan, his wife was on the Kingcast this week.
Oh, awesome.
Katie Seagal.
Yeah.
Seagal.
What was she talking about?
She was talking about The Good Marriage,
Oh, okay.
which is a Stephen King short story that was converted into a Netflix film.
Cool.
I believe it's a Netflix film. She's a huge Stephen King fan. She
awesome.
knew loads of stuff, and I was really impressed. It's listen, check it out if you've not.
So
heard
it's a good podcast, that
It
is.
is a really good podcast.
Talking of
I'm a
Stephen
little bit
King.
jealous of them. They get really good guests and they get to talk about Stephen King all the time.
Talking of Stephen King.
Oh yeah,
This is like a seamless trail of news, isn't
like
it?
we always planned it.
Have you seen the trailer for The Stand that came
I
out?
have, yes. That's coming
Earlier in the
really
week.
soon as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
So again, I think that's like 9 episodes or something.
Yeah. The Stand is an enormous book. It's more of a tome. It's huge, and if you can tell that story well, it's an incredible story. But it's going to be, both of our phones went off at the same time then. But it's going to be really, really, really difficult story to tell
Sure.
because it's so weird. Whoopi Goldberg's in it, isn't she?
Yeah, she looks good.
Bottom of the stream along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to The Stand. I don't know if I've not heard of a UK distributor.
No, we'll see where it lands.
Yeah, but I'm going to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
We find ways.
We will find our ways. All above board, obviously.
Yeah, don't know that. I got quite high hopes. The trailer I thought struck a really good tone.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of my favourite Stephen King stories.
Like you say, if they managed to get that right,
yeah,
it would be huge.
It will be huge. I really hope they can get it right because if it's like a precursor to the Dark Tower.
It is. Yeah.
If you can get the Stand right, then you can get the Dark Tower right. There's a lot more difficult and a lot longer, but if you can do one, you can do the other, surely.
We'll see.
Let's hope so. That's CBS in America?
Yeah, is it CBS All Access?
Yeah.
So I know some of their stuff has landed on Netflix over here because I think that is in the States. I think that's where, I don't know what it's called, the newest Star Trek series.
Oh, yeah.
With the lady out of Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what it's called either.
And that is on Netflix over here.
Yes.
So
maybe.
Maybe.
I feel like it's more of an Amazon show.
Yeah, possibly.
Because a lot of Stephen King stuff ends up on there, like Castle Rock ended up on there. But that was
Okay.
Hulu, so that's kind of... Who knows? But
It's whoever pays the money first, I guess.
Stephen King's hot property at the minute.
Cool.
Cool, I think we're done.
I've watched one more thing.
Oh, have you? Sorry.
That's fine.
Cutting you off.
I've watched Hubie Halloween.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Is it Hubie?
Hubie.
I thought it was Hubby.
No, Hubie.
Oh, okay. What's it about?
So this is Adam Sandler's the latest film in his mega Netflix deal.
Yeah.
It's about you won't believe this,
Okay.
but he plays like a man-child kind of character.
No. Adam Sandler?
With a stupid voice.
No. How's he pulling that off?
I don't know. It's a big departure. And
Fucking hate Adam Sandler.
he loves Halloween,
Yeah.
but is the most easily scared person in the world.
That's quite a good concept, actually.
And he is like neighborhood watch over Halloween, and he uncovers a bit of a conspiracy and spooky goings on.
Is it good?
I mean,
That's a no. That's definitely a no.
I wish I could say I hate. Well, I don't wish I could say I hated it. I can't say I hated it.
Right.
I actually laughed a few times, and it is usually because he's having something thrown at him or being scared.
Yeah. Has he gone back to his roots a little bit then? Is it like old school Sandler?
Well, he's definitely playing on a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because there's some interesting cameos in it. Should we go spoilers?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter to the plot. So Ben Stiller pops up at the start.
Of course he does.
He's playing the same character he played in Happy Gilmore, so he's like the evil care worker.
Yeah.
His love interest in this is the lady from Modern Family. I can't remember her name.
I can't help you.
Who was also his love interest in Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
So, and then obviously all his mates are in it, like they are in all his films.
Yeah.
Like Steve Buscemi and Rob Schneider,
Decent cast then.
Kevin James, they're all in it.
Cool.
Because he just gets paid millions of dollars to fuck around
Hang
and
around with his mates.
make movies with his mates. And yeah, I didn't absolutely hate it. It was better than I expected. Like begrudgingly, I was like, oh, this is not as bad.
Do you think I'd
thought.
hate it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I saw the trailer. I'm like, nah, that's not for me.
100%.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about before we get on to talking about the film?
Are we doing the top 10?
Yes. Let's do that quickly.
Because we've not done it for many weeks.
We haven't.
Let's check in.
Let's check in on the Netflix top 10. I'll quickly run through it. I'll find it first. There it is, right at the top. So, Coming in at number 10 is American Murder, The Family Next Door.
Oh, you spoke of this last week.
I did speak of this last week. I've heard since then some more details on the case.
Oh, okay.
Which were left out of the documentary.
Oh,
and it is fucking grim.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I'm not going to say on here. Cause
that's fine.
It's
I might try and watch this week.
Yeah, you should do. It is good. But yeah, the details of the case are horrible. David Attenborough, A Life on Our Planet, is at number 9.
Sure, I've seen this trailer and stuff all over my thumbnails and my...
I really want to watch it. I've just not got there yet.
Yeah.
I really like David Attenborough stuff, and I feel like we've not got a lot left.
Oh, that's morbid.
No, but
cheers.
No, I feel like this is why he's made this.
No, you're not wrong.
I'm not being morbid. I just feel like this is like a see you later kind of show. 'Cause it's all about his life as the naturist. No, naturalist. Which one's the one where you're not naked?
Naturalist.
Oh, that's put a horrible image in my head. Number 8 is Now You See Me Too, randomly. That must have just appeared because that's quite an old film now, 2016.
Yeah, I think I've definitely seen the first one. I don't know. I don't think I've seen this.
I've seen both of them and they're both really good. So check them out.
Is one of them got Harry Potter in it? Daniel
Radcliffe. Yes, I think he's in the second one.
Oh, yeah, typecast as a magician.
Or maybe he's not on the cast list for the second one, so maybe he's in the first one. Oh no, he is. There he is. Yep, he is in the second one. So have you seen it?
I think I have, yeah.
It's good. Check them out. Both of them are good. I'm not sure if the other one's on Netflix or not. I lost my breath then. Number 7 is Hubie Halloween.
That's brilliant.
Something else we've already spoken about. Something else we've spoken about at number 6 is Ratched. That's hanging around. That's been in the top 10 since it came out, that programme.
Oh, that's good going.
Netflix is claiming I have not watched it. I have watched it.
Liars.
Liars. There's a film at number 5 called Inheritance.
I know someone who has watched it.
What, Inheritance?
Yeah, my wife's watched it.
Oh, really?
She was telling me about it earlier on.
How strange.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it.
I did not know it was so high, but I know why it is high, because it stars the same person, who I don't know who they are, as Emily in Paris, which is riding quite high, I think.
I
as well.
see. Lily Collins?
Yes, that's the badger.
Lily Collins, Simon Pegg, Connie Nielsen, Chase Crawford.
She said Simon Pegg was excellent in it.
Wow.
A real departure from him, apparently. That's my second-hand review of Inheritance.
It says, after the patriarch of a powerful family passes away, he entrusts his daughter with a secret that no longer wants to remain buried. Mm. Sounds good. How come you didn't watch it?
I was at work.
Oh, yeah. Forget about work. I have no idea what this is. There's a film at number 4 as well called I Am Vengeance, Retaliation.
Well, that sounds like it's up our stream. Could be anything.
It sounds like it should be. It says, to clear his criminal record, an ex-Special Forces soldier agrees to lead a team to retrieve a double-crossing mercenary and deliver him to justice.
Sounds like a Van Damme special or something.
Vinnie Jones.
Oh, wow.
And Stu Bennett, is he the wrestler?
Yes.
Wade Barrett?
Yeah.
How random. He's in it. He's the top cast in it, and then Vinnie Jones. Interesting. So it's brand new. 2020.
It won't be in the top 10 for long, I would
Never
suggest.
Heard of it. No, I wouldn't have thought so. It feels like the sort of thing we'll watch next year. Number 3 is The Grinch.
Seasonal.
Is it too early for Christmas films?
I mean, I would say so.
Feels too early for Christmas films. It's the newer one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. I've seen it. It's good.
Yeah.
It is good.
I presume you watched it at Christmas, though, not even before
last
Halloween
Christmas, I believe. So.
It's from 2018, so it's a couple of years old now. Christmas films can't already start appearing.
I think it was on Netflix last year, so it's obviously just come back. And
maybe. Number 2 is Emily in Paris, which we've just mentioned.
Yep.
I've not seen it. I don't know anybody who has seen it. Doesn't seem like my sort of thing. It's a TV show, isn't it?
Yes.
Brand new. After landing her dream job in Paris, Chicago marketing exec Emily Cooper embraces her adventurous new life whilst juggling work, friends, and romance.
Yeah, I think it's Lily Collins.
Why
can't I say Lily?
Don't know. Yeah, it is Lily Collins. So it seems to be doing quite well. So number 2. Number 1, obviously, Haunting of Bly Manor.
Cool.
That nearly just started playing my next episode then.
I applied for a job there once.
You did? Yeah, you didn't get it though, did you? You wouldn't want to work there though, trust me.
Have I dodged a ghost?
You've dodged some ghosts, indeed. Yeah, you wouldn't want to work there.
Good.
I've got 2 left on that. I said that earlier, didn't I?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's the top 10 on Netflix then.
Awesome.
Oh, good. Should we talk about next week's film?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to run a promo for another podcast right here.
Do you ever find yourself sitting on the couch late at night wondering, what should I watch?
Aimlessly flipping through streaming services, pondering as you let your cursor settle over a title, but you just can't bring yourself to commit and push play.
Well, guess what? We do that, and we made a podcast about it.
Because everybody makes podcasts, but we decided to make ours about movies.
I'm Kay,
I'm E.
and together we start a journey through cinema where we watch a movie, sit down, discuss it,
Debate it, test each other's knowledge of it, and then give our final seal of approval or disapproval.
yeah.
So join us as we try to search the infinite web, attempting to answer the age-old question, what should we watch?
So check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and drop us a comment. Let us know what you think, and we'll have some interactive portions where you can join the fun.
So, pop some popcorn, pop some wine, and join us, won't you? Tune in to What Should We Watch with K and E.
Coming at you live, brother.
It's not live.
Coming at you.
Pre-recorded and edited.
Pre-recorded, edited, and delivered, brother.
Bye.
And we're back. So shall we talk about results?
Yes, let's do it.
I'm not ready.
Okay, let's not do it. Let's wait till you're ready, and then we can talk.
Results is from 2015. It is a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's currently rated at 5.4 on IMDb.
Okay.
Stars a guy called Guy Pearce,
G'day.
who you will know, he plays Trevor. You will know him from Memento, probably his most famous film. LA Confidential.
Yep.
And if you're of a certain age, Neighbours.
So, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Memento, incredible.
Incredible film.
LA Confidential, amazing film.
Yeah.
He's brilliant in it.
Yeah. But he would always
He's
be Mike
always
from Neighbours.
Mike from Neighbours.
Always will be.
Would you explain Neighbours to our maybe American or rest of the world listeners who aren't Australian or British?
Neighbours is an Australian soap opera
Yep.
that is... I don't even think it's on in Australia anymore.
Possibly
I think
not.
it's really... Its life in the UK is its lead life, I think. It's like prime time UK
Well,
every
no,
night.
tea time, isn't it?
Tea time, yeah.
And it always has
6,
been.
6 o'clock?
Yeah, something like 5:30,
Half 5,
6 o'clock.
6?
And
It's always been there.
for 30 years.
I watched it religiously when I was younger. Until I really started working. And I wasn't home in time.
And
My mum and dad still watch it every day.
do really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was still going.
Start with Neighbours, then get to Home and Away, which is another Australian soap that runs concurrently to each other. Yep, every day,
Yeah.
without fail.
And it's produced quite a lot of Hollywood stars
It has.
over the years.
Home and Away more so than Neighbours.
Okay.
But yeah, but Guy Pearce has been in Home and Away as well.
Oh, is
So,
he?
Yes.
I did not know that.
There you go. But he is an Australian. He was born in the UK.
What?
There's a fact for you.
Blowing my mind here.
Also stars Cobie Smulders,
Yes.
which is a fantastic name.
Very good name.
She plays Kat. You will know her mainly from How I Met Your Mother, which was a sitcom
Yes.
from a few years ago.
She is also a Marvel person.
She's Agent Hill in the Marvel Universe. Marvel Universe? In the Marvel Universe. And yeah, she's been in... She's in and around everything now. She's proper famous.
At one point in my notes,
Yeah.
I've written Robin.
Yeah, because she just is Robin. She just some people just live and die by their characters, don't they? It's like Guy Pearce. I've probably written Mike from Neighbours loads of times in this.
I actually put Mike from Neighbours. That seems very elongated.
Yeah, that's just who he is. Also stars Kevin Corrigan
Yes.
as a guy called Danny.
He's a familiar face.
He is.
He's been in a lot of
Of
things.
things. Yeah. Probably most famous for True Romance,
Yep.
Pineapple Express,
Yep.
and The Departed.
He instantly pops in my head for another role.
Yep.
And that is Professor Professorson from Community.
Yeah, that's who he is. But yeah, he's one of those guys. He's a face that you recognise, but you don't quite know where from.
Yeah.
But it's because he's been in every film ever made. Written and directed by a guy called Andrew Bujalski,
Okay.
who has recently co-written Lady and the Tramp, the remake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the live action
Yeah.
version.
Yeah, it's not real dogs, but yeah.
There they are.
Are they?
Yeah, they taught him English.
I've not seen it. I wouldn't know. That's probably his most famous thing. He's done a lot of like rom-coms over the years.
Okay.
That's his most famous thing. Do you have a one-word review of... I can't say one-word review. I say it wrong every week. One-word review of Results, Nicholas.
Love triangle.
That's 2 words, but...
I've told you, I'm
You're breaking the rules.
Playing fast and loose this season.
Where does this film start?
There's some noises.
Yep.
and they're either naughty sex noises, or they're gym noises.
Yes. What would you think they were?
Gym.
I think sex.
Okay.
Usually.
You do gym very different to how I do gym.
I do sex very different as well. There's a huge title card that comes over the sex noises. That sounds wrong. And we meet Danny for the first time.
Yep.
Who's Kevin Corrigan? Fuck's sake. Kevin Corrigan's character. And he can't get into his apartment. He's trying to get in. He tries to climb in the window at one point. His wife / girlfriend, I think it was his wife. She was in the middle of kicking him out.
Yes.
And he's like screaming through the windows and stuff, trying to get back in. And we cut from there to an aerobics class, which is being taken by, I've forgotten the guy's name. Lorenzo, who we meet at this point in the film.
I've just put a fit man is teaching people how to plank.
He was very fit, and he did get them to plank quite well, so you've done well there. And Danny walks in. It's like a gym, isn't it?
It is a gym. It's not like a gym.
Is it?
I think it is a gym.
I've never been inside one. And he wants to join this gym / exercise classes. And so he gets interviewed.
Kind of. So, I mean, this is pretty standard practice.
Is it?
Yeah. So Lorenzo says, well, clearly I'm in the middle of teaching a class, but he calls someone else over, and this is Trevor.
Yep, Guy Pearce's character.
Played by Guy Pearce, Mike from Neighbours. And
he's the owner of the gym.
Yes, and he says to Danny, yep, come and have a chat. Well, let's talk about your fitness goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I dread somebody ever saying that to me. What are your fitness goals? I haven't got a clue. I'd like to not die young.
And I nearly said Mike there. So Trevor's saying, well, what do you want? Do you want to be able to run? Do you want to build strength? What is it? And Danny says, I want to be able to take a punch.
Yeah.
And he's dishevelled, isn't he?
He's very dishevelled. He almost looks like a tramp that's coming off the streets.
And I think that's what they think initially.
Yeah. And he's quite down on as well, isn't he? He's quite depressed all the way through this.
Yes.
And Trevor looks really confused by it, but they have a bit of a chat, and he eventually does sign him up, doesn't he? We cut from there, and we meet Kat for the first time. This is Cobie Smulders' character, and she's running. She's out for a run.
Yeah, but she's
sprinting,
Terminator running.
Yeah, big.
She's like Robert Patrick.
She's proper fitness expert.
In fact, she actually runs after a car.
She does, and catches it.
Yeah,
she spots a car in the distance. And she obviously recognises the person inside it, and she catches them. And she busts the driver, who is in the middle of eating a cupcake.
Yeah,
she's been to a kid's
one of her
birthday
clients.
Party. Yeah. And she tells her that you're behind on a payment, and you're not doing very well because you're eating cupcakes in the car.
I mean, I question this method of motivation.
Yeah, she's very abrupt, Kat, isn't she?
Yes.
She calls a spade a spade.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you wouldn't mess with her.
Do I want to say difficult?
Yes.
I think so.
I think.
Yeah, I think that's a fair.
She's very set in her ways.
Point. Yeah.
Whatever she thinks, her opinions are the correct opinions. And we cut from there back to the gym, and there's a group photo being taken of all the fitness instructors.
Yep.
And Kat walks in. She doesn't really want to be in this picture, but she reluctantly agrees to get in it, and she does the smiley bit. And it's a bit of a weird way to introduce her into the scene, I guess. But there ends up being an argument, because Trevor's found out about Kat harassing this woman, and they all have this huge argument.
Yeah.
Including Lorenzo, and they're out in the car park, aren't they, at this point? And it comes out that there's been a walk-in.
Yeah, who is Danny, yeah.
And obviously Trevor has to assign that to one of his personal trainers, and he's assigned it to Lorenzo, which Kat absolutely takes offence to.
Yeah, she goes in level 9 straight away.
She's like, that's fucking ridiculous. She wants this new business. Even though she apparently is the busiest one out of all of them.
Yeah.
She just takes all the new clients. And she doesn't let it drop. Trevor's like, fuck off, I'm going home. He goes back into his office. Kat follows him.
She calls Lorenzo a bisexual gigolo.
She does.
Which made me laugh a little bit.
It turns out he is as well, later on in the film. She makes no bones by the fact that she thinks she's the best at what she does. And Trevor talks himself out of it by saying that he was worried that Danny was a little bit rapey.
I think I was totally with Trev here.
Yeah.
He says the guy was a bit weird.
Yeah.
I would honestly... He actually says to her, I'm not saying I don't think you can do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather Lorenzo went and checked it out first. Because we're going to his house.
I can't send a woman into this guy's house on her own. Which is a fair comment, I think. But in the next scene, Kat shows up at Danny's house.
Well, she just before that, so she he's trying to like set the alarm to get out
Yeah.
of the gym, and she literally sits down on
She
the
has a
floor
tantrum.
like a toddler,
Like one of your kids.
and won't move. Yeah,
And she won't move, and he has to literally carry her out of the gym.
indeed. Yeah,
And then she obviously talks him around because she goes to Danny's house and becomes his trainer.
and that got a little laugh out of me as well, because it literally cuts to the next morning. She's on his doorstep.
Straight away. He's got like this huge mansion house
Yeah.
that he lives in on his own. There's no furniture in there.
No, so he's like, I've just moved to town, basically.
Yeah, it's mid-move in. And he's got a full gym set up in there.
Yeah.
But it's not set up, it's just all in boxes. And he says he wants to pay up front for these classes.
And she's like, yeah, that's fine.
It's
We usually
unusual,
do
but, yeah.
we usually do like a few weeks, a month.
Yeah.
He's like, he's really like, oh, that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Can I just pay for a year?
Or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell me how much, I'll write you.
I write you
A
a
check.
check. And he does. And so they have a bit of a get-to-know session, don't they? Nothing really happens. Kat leaves and...
Well,
Danny-
they talk about it is quite. I mean, it's quite interesting. It is building the characters up, but in itself, it's not that interesting as a scene, because they are literally talking about, oh, you need to do a food diary. This is what you need to do to get into shape. It is literally, we're watching a consultation.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting about this film.
And yeah, so he's like, fine, yeah, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Which he agrees to. She leaves and he instantly orders a pizza.
Yeah.
Which gets delivered to his house. He even takes a selfie with it.
Yeah, and he's sending her, this is what I'm eating.
Yeah.
So this has got clearly a guy in a bad mental
Yeah,
place.
he's not in a good place. I've written here that he starts playing shirtless guitar,
He does, yeah.
which he does. Takes a few more pizza photos. Cut to the next day, and I presume it's the next day, and he's back with Kat, and
Yep.
they're discussing the pizza.
Yeah, and then they get into a conversation about therapy, because
Yeah.
she sort of says, yeah, I tried it, didn't really work for
Yeah.
me. And he's quite interested in that. He's obviously open to
Yeah,
try and do whatever he can to get out of this funk. He just doesn't know how to take those first
He
steps.
describes himself as bored and depressed.
Yeah. Then we have a scene of them, again, literally, she's just teaching him how to do a squat.
Yes. Basically, exactly that. He's very out of shape, this guy. She shows him some exercises and different things. She leaves, and then we stay with Danny, and he's watching YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's found a video of Trevor and the gym on YouTube, and Kat's in it. And basically, he's just watching this video. And nothing really comes of it at that point, but it gets creepy because he keeps watching it
Yeah,
over
so
and over again later on in the film.
He rewinds it back, and then he rewinds it back to even a smaller wedge of the
Yeah, he's
video,
literally
and then
just watching Kat.
then he's just watching her doing squats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he heads to a bar. And I've written, Danny goes to a bar and has some popcorn. I
That's
don't know
exactly
why.
what I put. D gets popcorn.
He gets popcorn. And he starts talking. He's after some weed. He wants some drugs.
Yeah.
So he starts talking to a guy who clearly looks like he would have weed on him. This is Giovanni Ribisi.
It is.
And he turns out not to be a drug dealer. He's a lawyer.
He is. He's a lawyer for big business.
Yes. So Danny takes his details. He's like, I might need you. You never know.
Yeah,
I've
he
got
says
some money.
something like, "Yeah, I could do with someone like you on my team."
Yeah.
and
We don't know anything about Danny at this point.
No, and
All
this,
we know is that his wife's kicked him out and he's got this massive house.
Yeah, this lawyer character is Paul, and he's clearly like, "What the hell? You couldn't afford a lawyer like me. What?
Yeah.
What the hell?"
But then he just gave him some weed as well.
But he just says, "Actually, I do know where to score you some weed."
Yeah.
And I mean, Giovanni Ribisi's in this a bit more than he was in the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
He's still not in this very much.
No, he's like a bit part actor, isn't he?
What is he though? He's been in had big roles in pretty big films.
Yeah.
And then we've seen him in two things where he's in it for a hiccup.
Yeah.
I thought it was odd.
It is odd because he's really good.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. He was really. What was he in? He's in the X-Files, isn't he? That's one of the very first things he did.
X-Files
He's
and
in
Friends.
Yeah, he is in Friends.
Phoebe's brother.
He's a lot older now than he was then.
Sure.
A lot older. In the next scene, Danny pays a guy to come round his house and turn his TV on for
How
him.
time works.
Well, yeah, true. You forget. We've talked about Friends again. This is like 3 weeks in a row.
Danny sends we see him send a text
Yeah.
or an email, and it says, "I will pay you $200 if you come and turn my
Turn my
TV,
TV
on for me."
So you're getting the impression at this stage that Danny's got too much money.
You think, yeah.
Because he's just giving it away for no reason. A guy turns up and he does turn his TV on for him.
Yeah, and he says, can you tell me, or can you set up so I can watch my laptop on the TV?
Yeah, I'll give you another $100.
Yeah.
And this guy does that as well. And then he starts watching this YouTube video again, but now on the huge widescreen TV.
Uber TV.
I've written it, this guy's a real creep. 'Cause I think he is. I still think he is now. Cut to Trevor. Trevor also lives alone, and his life is very similar to Danny's, I guess.
He's got a trailer.
Yeah.
He lives in a trailer
With a huge dog.
Literally, you could mount this thing and ride it,
Easily. It's massive. Huge, great big thing.
and a drum set,
Yeah.
which must really piss off his neighbours
Yeah.
on the trailer park.
That's pretty much all he's got in his,
Yeah.
in his trailer.
He's sitting at a table reading feedback, like comment cards on his staff.
Yeah.
And
This guy lives for his gym. There doesn't appear
sure,
to be anything else in his life.
he's a driven guy.
Yeah.
He wants to succeed in his business, and he wants to. Well, we'll see shortly. He wants to sort of expand the place.
Danny's working out with Kat again. He's not very good at it. There's a really comedy scene here.
He can't lunge.
He can't lunge, and
And it like improvises some. He will even says, "Oh, it's like Monty Python."
I wasn't sure if he did it on purpose to make her laugh, or if because he looked generally offended. She laughed at him, and he did look offended.
It had the feel of a bit of an improvisation to me.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
would say
Maybe it was the only improvised scene in this film because it's the only funny scene in this film.
it was a good. It was a real good little scene actually.
Yeah, it was.
Because they're on sort of the landing on this huge house that he's in.
Yeah.
And he just asks us, "Oh, come and smoke some weed with me sometime."
Yeah. But she declines because they're
Health reasons.
and
something.
he's a client and he's a creep. But then she goes back pretty much straight away after she's left and takes him up on it.
Yeah.
So they get smoking together. It turns out the house is rented, and she as we said earlier, Kat doesn't pull any punches. She asks him outright how he's rich.
Yeah.
Look, how have you got rich? What's your story? What's your money story? And he basically says he got divorced pretty much straight after the divorce.
1 week after his divorce.
His mum died.
Yeah. And he hadn't seen his mum or talked to his mum for 17 years.
Because she married a guy that he didn't like.
Yep.
Who was rich. And somehow Danny ended up with all the money.
Really rich.
Yeah,
and
super rich.
He died, then his mum died, and she has left him everything.
Yeah. So Danny's ended up with all this guy's money. And he says that he feels really bad that his ex-wife didn't get any of that because the divorce went for a week before and then it all happened and he got suddenly rich. And it makes him feel bad that she didn't get any money.
He says later on, I don't think it's at this point, I think it's later on in the movie, it might be when he's talking to Trevor later on, and he kind of returns to this theme and says, I don't feel like I deserve this.
Yeah.
You know, when I think of people out there who haven't got anything, why have I got all this?
Where's it all come from?
I quite like that. I quite like the depth to his character.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It was like, oh, this guy's just a fucking creep.
Yeah.
And you are starting to slowly learn things about the guy.
And maybe come around to him a little bit.
Yeah.
Kat comes around to him quite a lot because they have a bit of a kiss at the end of this scene.
Yeah, they do.
Which came right out of nowhere. And
I agree. I did think it was
far
a bit
too early in the film.
Yeah.
And it just
hadn't quite earned it, had it?
It hadn't earned it. And it doesn't, I don't know, the reaction to it afterwards was weird as well. But we'll come to that in a minute. Cut from there to Trevor. And he's with an estate agent.
Yes.
Or a realtor. In a huge building.
Yeah.
Like a warehouse.
It is a warehouse with, whether it's newly completed or it's been trashed, but the floor's just gravel.
Yeah, I think it's brand new building.
Yeah, it's like a hangar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. And he's looking for a new gym. And he's basically like, I can't afford this place. What are you doing? What are you bringing me here for? Yeah. But then she's like, you can't.
He then starts imagining.
I hated this.
Did you? I quite liked it. Like
it was so stupid.
You can. It was totally out of whack with what we've seen so far,
and the rest of the film.
But he can now see the gym.
Yeah.
So it sort of builds up in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
In this huge space.
It's like a juice bar that he gets a juice from.
I thought it was all right.
I hated it.
I went with it.
There's the estate agent's woman working behind the bar in his juice bar, and I was like, bullshit.
It was a bit funky, but I didn't mind it.
He gets a text whilst he's there though from Kat, who is basically phoning in sick. She's like, I'm not very well. I'm not coming into work today. Like any good boss, he goes to a house.
Yeah, but I think it's more than because we've already had a hint that they've got a history.
Definitely.
And
can you imagine if you're phoning sick and your boss turned up at your house with some soup?
But I think it kind of worked here because we're already aware that they've got some kind of history. And again, from what we've seen of her character, he's obviously thinking, this person's never taken a day off sick.
Yeah, what's wrong with her?
What is going on here?
And I think he thinks they're friendlier than she does.
Definitely.
He's got more of a...
She thinks they're on better terms than they are. He thinks they're on better terms than they are.
Yeah. So he takes some food around and she makes it really awkward for him and he basically just leaves it. And she starts exercising.
Yeah, there's just like I've just said, it's a life montage.
Yeah. She seems to live with a lesbian couple.
She does, yeah. So they like watch some movies together, don't they? And
Yeah, and just basically live in the house. Late that night, Kat turns up at Danny's house.
Yes.
This is an evening session, I guess. And she wants to figure out, because of what's happened the previous evening, if they can still have a professional relationship. And he's got completely different ideas.
Yeah, so she's turned up obviously in her workout clothes. She's ready to do a training session. And he answers the door he's got a shirt on.
Yeah.
Some nice trousers.
He looks better than he's looked. He doesn't look
Yeah, he
neat,
slicked his hair
but
back.
he looks better than he has done in any of the other scenes. Yeah. And he said, come with me, I want to show you something.
Yeah.
Turns out he's hired some jazz musicians.
Yeah, it's like a trio, isn't it?
Jazz trio. And he's set a dinner table. And he's invited her around for dinner
Yeah.
without telling her. He's hired a chef.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, this guy cost me a lot of money. He's a celebrity chef.
Yeah. She does not take kindly to it.
No, not one bit.
She loses her shit.
She goes to town on him.
Yeah. Not in that way.
No.
And she leaves. Basically, she's very angry.
See, I, as I'm reading my notes, this made me laugh a lot more than I thought it did. At the time, that my brain remembers it, because it was a week ago that I watched it nearly. And there's a bit here that really made me laugh. So she
I know what you're going to say.
She goes down the stairs, he follows her, and they're literally having this argument on the doorstep. And he's like, oh, come back in. So she steps towards him, and she just fucking shoves him through the door and slams it shut. And it really made me laugh.
Before that, though, she tells him to get cancer.
Oh, yeah.
she's really horrible to him.
Yeah, that's when...
No, this is a guy that she's kissed the night before. Yeah. She made that move. And
is this when he's saying about being guilty and she says, oh, give it all to charity then, or get cancer yourself?
Yeah.
Fucking...
And then he says, your anger's not making you any less attractive.
Yeah.
He's like really winding her up.
He's no-selling her.
Completely.
And it's making her more and more angry.
Yeah, to the point where she pushes him over.
I thought it was a good scene as well.
It's not bad. And she pushes him over and just leaves. And he goes back outside to the table and he just starts eating the food.
Yeah.
The jazz musicians are still playing while he's just walking around eating this food. Turns out, though, he hasn't taken it very well because he calls Trevor and he says to Trevor, I'm done. I'm stopping the payment.
Yes.
Whilst Danny's talking to Trevor, Kat's in the office as well.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't really want to go back there. I'm kind of done with him. But please tell me you cashed that check.
Yeah.
Because he's about to cancel it. And Trevor hasn't cashed the check. He's
not even really looked at it.
He's not even seen the check. The check's for $23,000.
Yeah. It's like 2 years up front, like you said.
So we feel like Trevor's going to lose his shit at Kat, but he doesn't because Trevor's in love with Kat.
Yeah, and he is more bothered about the fact that she's been put in danger.
Yeah, because she tells him everything that happened.
Yeah.
About the dinner and everything.
And he's angry at himself for putting her in that position.
Yeah.
And he's not really that bothered about the money.
Yeah. And he calls Danny and he's like, he basically threatens him. He's like, stay away from her. Just keep away from her. I'm not interested.
Yeah. It's like, if I see you around here again, I'll call the police. Etc.
Yeah.
Danny just does not give a fuck.
No, is he in the cinema? Is this the bit where he's in the cinema? Yeah. And he's just talking on the phone. And he basically says, I've got an amazing lawyer. And then he just hangs up on him.
Yeah.
So things have not gone well for this free fripple so far. Cut to Trevor. He's just hanging with his dog that night. Danny's just jamming on his guitar shirtless again. And Trevor shows up at Danny's door. And he says to me, he didn't say anything to me. He says to Danny, when we first met, you said you wanted to learn to take a punch.
Yeah,
Are you ready to take that punch? Is basically what he says. And he rips Danny's check up in front of him. And they have a bit of a fight. Trevor
It's a scuffle, isn't it? Yeah, and he pins Danny up against the door. I was going to say the wall, but it's this huge ornate door to this mansion.
Danny calls him crazy. Danny leaves. Trevor leaves. It all kind of fizzles out. And it's losing me. I'm not going to lie, it's losing me a little bit by now.
Okay.
I'm not on board with this anymore. Because it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere at this point. Just after Danny slams the door shut, there's a knock at the door. And it's Trevor again. And now he's come back to apologise.
Well, kind of. He's like, I meant what I said, but listen, I don't want you to give up on your fitness journey.
Yeah, because he's a gym bunny at the end of the day. That's what it's all about.
He's like, don't give up. You can, self-empowerment, all this sort of stuff. Don't give up on your training. He's
Yeah.
like, I can give you all the recommendations. I don't want you back at my place.
Yeah.
But
you don't give up,
Yeah.
basically. So Danny invites him in for a smoke.
yeah.
So they become friends now. Cut to the next morning, and Trevor's in his new space again, his new gym area. But Danny's there.
Yeah.
And the lawyer guy's there.
Paul, yeah.
And the estate agent.
Yeah.
And it appears that he's trying to get Danny to invest, I guess. And we cut from there to Kat.
Yeah, so this is kind of a bit, for this film, this is now moving quickly. There's
Yeah.
some quite big events here. So presumably, Trav and Danny have just sat up all night smoking. They've somehow gone into business together.
We cut from there to Kat. He's doing a training session with an old guy. He basically tells her he wants to quit. He's
Yeah, he
done.
said, I've had
He's
enough.
like, I've had
Can't
enough
bother
now.
with this.
I'm too old for this shit, is basically what he says. He says, well, the wife's not interested in me being fit, so forget it. Kat does not like that. She tells him to fuck him. Fuck you, she says. And then, not fuck him. She says fuck you and then leaves.
So she turns up at Trevor's.
Yes. But she's there before he comes home.
Yeah.
She's just in his house. And she quits. She's like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving the gym. I don't want to do it anymore.
She says she needs a real job or a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she says, basically, she doesn't feel she can have either at the same time if he's involved.
Yeah.
So she quits.
Yeah. Trevor goes out to his hallway and does a weird pull-up thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Just randomly. And then she says to him, do you want to make out?
Yeah, so as she's quit, she says, she's like,
Because
basically,
we don't work together now.
Yeah.
It's not awkward anymore.
do you want to be my boyfriend?
Let's just make out. He says, like, we can't do this. I really like you. Like, you can't just be the fuck buddy, I guess. She laughs at him when he says that, and then she leaves.
Yeah, he says, if you walk out, I can't imagine not seeing you again.
Yeah.
And she walks out.
And she walks out. She walks out of this film pretty much for a good chunk of it now.
Yep.
She doesn't come back for quite a while. Because we get to explore the budding relationship between Trevor and Danny. Because they start working out together.
Yeah.
And we get a bit of a workout montage for quite a long time.
Yeah, it is a long montage. So there's like, it's workout montage mixed in with like a business montage.
Yeah.
Because
Plus,
they're signing contracts and stuff.
Trevor starts fucking the estate agent.
Oh yeah, that's going on as well.
Danny randomly gets a cat.
Oh yeah, he buys a cat.
All during this montage. They start work starts on this new gym.
Yeah.
That's still going on in this montage. I hate this so much. I've written at this top of this page. This montage is still happening. I've gone over 2 pages now, and it kind of breaks out with. It ends in Danny's house with Trevor and the lawyer Paul.
Yeah, so they're all hanging
They're
out.
just hanging out.
Business
and that's
partners.
how the montage ends, and they're all friends now. I don't know how much time passed during that montage. It seemed like a lot.
Quite a bit, because the business is imminently opening.
Ready to open, yeah. Danny says he's going to go and visit his ex-wife because he wants to get back together with her.
Yeah, and Trev's like, dude, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, don't do that. But he also says he's been Googling Kat. He admits that he's been like Googling to see what she's up to.
Yeah.
And Trevor's like, no, that's not a good idea either. So Trevor basically convinces him not to go for his wife, not to go after Kat, and just move on.
Yeah, and Danny pays Paul $300 to go to bed instead of driving home drunk.
Yes, because Paul's like he's stoner lawyer
Yeah.
guy, isn't he? Trevor admits to Danny that he's in love with Kat and that they once had an affair. So we find that gets clarified to us at that point. Danny walks away and he's visibly upset by this.
Yeah. I found this really interesting because obviously you think he's upset because he's also in love with Kat,
Yeah,
which I think he is.
yeah,
Or infatuated at least.
yeah,
But then the character, again, as Trevor catches up with him and Danny actually says, well, what are you mucking around here for?
Yeah.
If you love her, go and get her.
yeah.
And
Because he says to her, "Did she love you?"
yeah.
And
And Trevor says, well, I
think
think
so,
so.
yeah.
And Danny throws him out.
he does, yeah. He's like, 'cause Danny's drunkenly lifting weights,
Yeah.
and Trevor's trying to talk him out of doing. He's like, "You're going to crush your skull if you do that." And Danny kicks him out. He's like, "You can't stay here now because you've told me that, and you
Yeah.
need to go and sort your shit out." Trevor wakes up hungover.
He imagines that Kat's with him.
Yes. I've put he sees things like a dog on a treadmill and Cat.
Well, yeah, but the dog on the treadmill was an actual dog on a treadmill.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
that was real.
That was real, but then Cat turns up. But not actually turned up. It's a really confusing scene because she's not really there. And he goes back to Danny's and Paul answers the door.
He's really hungover.
Yeah. And it turns out that Danny's going to sell his shares in the gym.
Yeah, he meant what he said. He's like, I don't want to see you again.
I'm done.
You need to go and sort your relationship out.
Which will destroy him because he's because him and Paul go out for breakfast somewhere, don't
Yeah.
they? And he's like, if he sells his shares in his gym, either one of my competitors is going to buy it.
Yeah, so Trevor's like, well, we went 50-50, so suddenly I'm not going to own 50% of my business.
Yeah, and if one of my competitors buys it, that's really bad times.
Yeah.
And if somebody random buys it, then I'm not going to get what I need. Just as this conversation is going on, Kat gives him a ring. Basically, she says to him that Danny's called her
Yeah.
and he's offered to sell her his half of the business
Yep.
for $200. Because he's got this thing about $200.
A nice little twist, I thought this was. So she's suddenly back in their lives.
Yeah. She says she's haggled him down to 150.
Yeah.
But she's going to turn it down. She's like, I can't do it to you. I'm not going to do it to you. But Trevor's like, no, fucking do it. Take his offer.
Yeah.
And then I'll buy it from you for like $3,000.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. He feels like this is his get out clause.
Yeah.
He feels he's got something over Danny here. Then he randomly reveals that he's got a daughter.
Yeah, so they quickly get in another argument. So they've got this relationship where they clearly care for each other, but they wind each other up the wrong way. And they're just they're having this conversation. It just comes out that Trevor's got a sort of early teenage
Daughter,
like 12, 13, something like that. And he says, I'm going to see her. And Kat's like, you've never mentioned this.
I've known you for 2 years.
Yeah.
How have you never mentioned this? Turns out Kat's working an office job. She doesn't feel very settled there. She starts working out, leaning up the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is odd. Trevor calls Danny. There's lots of calling going on at this point.
There's a lot of mobile
There's
phones.
lots of mobile phone talk.
Yeah, Danny's sitting in the airport. He's on his way to New York.
Yeah.
He's going to go and see his
his
ex-wife.
ex-wife.
And he says to Trev, go and tell Kat you love her. Please stop calling me.
Yeah.
He's just trying to remove himself from their lives completely.
And he puts the phone down.
Yep.
Trevor's on a drive. He's going on a road trip. He's going to meet his gym hero, I guess.
Yeah, there's this like dude, this like, is he German?
Yeah, I think he was.
And he's like kettlebell guru.
Yeah. This should have been a cameo for anybody. Any like bodybuilder actor. Dolph Lundgren or somebody. This should have been a cameo.
This guy, so it was, I think it's Anthony Michael Hall is his name.
Yeah.
He was in an episode of Community as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like it should have been like Arnie or Dolph Lundgren or somebody just to make
I
it
suppose
funny?
it could have been, yeah.
I just thought this is a prime cameo opportunity and they didn't do it.
So, for me, this is the bit of the movie I didn't like.
Yeah.
I thought this was
Stupid.
way too long. Probably didn't even need to be there at all.
Didn't need to be there. Absolutely didn't need to be there. Basically, he meets up with this guy who's his like fitness guru, hero, and he basically is trying to convince him to come and do a session at the new gym.
Yeah.
So he's like a celebrity Jimmy, I guess. Gymster. I don't know gym terms.
Yeah, he's supposed to be within his field.
Yeah.
A name. Yeah.
So this meal that they're having is interspersed with cutscenes with Danny on a date with his ex-wife.
Correct.
I didn't go into a lot of detail about what was going on in the meal because
Which one?
Trevor's.
Right. So basically,
This is boring.
yeah, and they get into a lot of life talk about
It was unnecessary.
the fitness kettlebell guy basically fundamentally disagrees with a lot of Trevor's views on, self-empowerment and self-improvement. And Trevor's quite disappointed that they're
His
very
hero's
different
not on
people.
the same page,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Meanwhile, like, as you say, it's intercut with Danny with his ex-wife. They're out for dinner.
Yeah.
And to cut to the chase, she basically doesn't give a shit that he's rich.
No, she's like, I don't care. I'm just
Yeah.
glad you're out of my life,
Yeah.
basically.
It
Which is
didn't
not what he
work.
wanted to
It's
hear.
not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to work now just because you've got money.
So they're both very disappointed.
Yeah.
In two very weird, different dinner conversations.
And then it gets weirder because Trevor leaves the house,
Yeah.
which was a 7-hour drive away, I think he
Yes.
said. And Kat's sitting outside in her car,
Yeah.
being pulled over by the police because she's
She's sped.
sped in the guy's street. Turns out she did buy the 50% off Danny.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I've come to help you talk to this guy,
This guy.
to convince him to
So they go back
come
in.
over."
Even
Yeah,
though Trevor's only just left, they go back into this guy's house and have dinner again.
and obviously
Did they have a second meal?
it did look like.
It's really weird.
So Gregory, who's this kettlebell guy, really likes
Cat.
Kat,
Yeah.
and that annoys Trevor even more.
I've written here. They had some sort of babbling conversation.
They're basically having
No clue what's
they're
happening.
basically having a therapy session.
Yeah.
In front of these two strangers, the kettlebell guy and his wife.
Yeah.
They're picking on each other's faults. So Kat says Trevor's not emotional enough, and Trevor says to Kat, "Well, you don't listen to anything anyone tells you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really boring. It was unnecessary, and it ends up with them getting a dumbbell.
yeah,
Kettlebell. They were given a kettlebell each at the end.
The best line of the whole thing is back in New York, where Christine says to Danny, "If you try and romance me, I am going to stab you."
Trevor says to Kat, "I'm going to give you $3,000 when we get back to New York."
Yeah.
So then everybody's out of each
Not
other's
New York,
lives,
but
wherever they're going.
they're in Texas.
Texas. I've written, cut back to Danny. Remember him? Because there was a long time of him not being in the film. Because that meal went on for ages.
Yeah, it did.
For unnecessarily too long. The woman who plays his wife, incidentally, is his real life wife.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I thought so. She definitely doesn't want him back. Oh, this page is blurred. Danny tells Kat if he... What does that say?
So they're on the phone again. And Danny asks Kat if he ever had a shot with her.
Yeah, if I wasn't a client, would I have had a shot?
And she says no.
No, she basically blatantly just goes no.
Yeah.
Trevor shows up whilst they're talking on the phone.
Yeah, so they put him on speakerphone and they basically give him a life coaching session over the phone. Telling him, so you've tried it with your wife, she doesn't want you back. You need to go out, have fun, grieve. Trevor even says, fuck it, you're rich. Yeah. Go and invite a load of sorority girls to a party if you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Have some fun. Then
randomly some kid punched Danny in the stomach.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was in a park in New York. Some
guy just walks up to him and punched him in the stomach. Yeah. Oh, so random.
Now he can take a punch.
Yeah, I guess. It was just silly. I've written here, why are Trevor and Kat in a caravan? Because I didn't realise that Trevor was living in a caravan earlier, I don't think. I think I'd figured it out at some point.
So she stays over.
She stays in his caravan.
But they're separate.
Yeah. And the next morning, they both go for a run.
Yeah.
In opposite directions.
Yes.
And they eventually end up passing each other.
I like this because the music was intersecting because we were hearing what he was listening to in his headphones and what she was in hers. Trev ditches his dog.
Yeah.
And gives chase to Kat.
Yeah. And he catches her, basically.
Yeah.
And they have a bit of a kiss.
Yeah, then they go bone zone.
Fucking the caravan, I've written here. Yeah, that's basically what happens. They do the naughty and they go out for dinner. Kat has a bit of a kick off at the waitress for no reason.
Oh, with the gap for dinner, yeah.
Yeah, because she's a twat, I think.
Well,
Kat, not the waitress.
She
basically
there's an extra charge on the bill.
Yeah.
Because Trev has asked for egg whites. And the waitress says, we've never been asked for that.
Yeah, he didn't. He wanted an omelette with just the whites.
Correct. And Kat says, well, you've took stuff out.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be an addition
charge less, if anything.
And technically, she's probably right.
Yeah, you have to use a whole egg, though.
Trevor's like,
don't worry about it. It's like 20 cents. I'm not bothered.
So again, it just shows the difference between these two.
Yeah. Trev basically asked her straight out if she has any feelings for him.
Yeah, and she says, look, but just before that, she says, you need me in this business. Look, you're throwing away money.
Yeah. He says he loves her. And just before they leave, she admits that she loves him too.
Yeah.
These twats deserve each other. I was in a really bad place when I was watching this film, I think. They kiss, which isn't a big deal because they only just did a couple of scenes ago. And Danny then, this is the most random thing in the whole world. I get what happened, but Danny randomly walks into a sorority house and invites them all to a party.
He literally says, I am a millionaire.
Come to my party.
I'm throwing a party.
And cut back to his house. The jazz band are there. They're playing some jazz. And everybody's just dancing.
Yeah, they're on a party.
And then the credits start rolling.
Yeah.
And this
Trev and Kat are there as well.
And this film, they're all there. And this film ends.
Yeah.
Overall, thoughts?
I liked it.
Did you really?
Yep.
Fucking hell. I hated every single second of it.
I thought it was a real nice change of pace.
It's so bad.
I really enjoyed it. I thought the performances were good. I like the three main characters.
The three main characters are good actors. That's a fact. This is not a good film.
Yeah, it's a good film.
It's not. It's so boring.
Do you know what I liked about it?
What?
It's like, so you've got this triangle.
It made me angry.
You've got this triangle between them.
Yeah.
And like the first...
This unbelievable triangle.
It's not quite like... I don't think it's quite 90 minutes. It's a bit longer. But like the first third of the film is about...
It's 100 minutes, 101 minutes, I think.
So the first third of the film is about Danny and Kat's relationship. And
Yeah.
Trev's not in it.
Yeah.
The middle third is about Danny and Trev's relationship.
And Kat's
not in it. And then the final third is about Trevor and Kat, and Danny's not in it.
Yeah.
I really like the structure.
The structure, yeah, that works.
I thought it was funny.
I didn't find it funny at all. I didn't laugh at it once.
I had quite a few chuckles.
This is probably as close as I've ever been to turning a film off.
I thought it had a bit of I
can't believe this.
It had a bit of like a Cameron Crowe type thing to it, you know. I like
what?
Yeah, like that sort of film, it was slow and it was interesting. I like the characters. I thought it was a good relationship.
This is really lucky that it's come this early in a season. Because
this is the best thing we've seen this season.
Fuck off.
Easily.
Fuck right off.
Easily.
It's not even the best thing we've seen ever. No, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Easily.
No way. I'm not having that.
It's better than the other 2 films we've seen.
You're on glue or something. What?
I enjoyed it.
I did not. I hated it. So, this doesn't happen very often.
It amused me.
This is rare on this show. When we started this show, we thought we'd disagree on a lot of films, and we don't really tend to. So it's interesting when it happens.
Yeah, because this is quite a good film.
Stop it. It's really not.
I really liked Danny's character. I thought it had layers.
The only good character in it is Kat, just because she's a bitch, and it's funny. Trevor and Danny are just dull.
Yeah, I thought this was a bit of a hidden gem. I must be.
Are you trying to wind me up because it's working?
I enjoyed it.
Angry. I bought you pizza earlier. Okay, that's an interesting one then. So we're going to have to get the listeners to decide on this one.
Do we?
No. they can let us know what they think. There'll be people out there that have watched it.
I'm sure. I don't think we've seen much like this. I tell you, probably the only thing I think we've seen similar was what was the one with Nick Miller in from New Girl about the card sharks.
Win It All.
Yeah, in terms of it as like a bit of a mumblecore type slow.
I would compare it more to the
comedy.
Clapper.
Oh, this is more. No, there's loads more to this than that. That was.
But it's the same sort of vibe, though, isn't it?
No, these were believable people.
The Clapper's a rom-com. This is a rom-com. Win It All's not a rom-com.
I'm more talking the style of the movie. It's a bit grainy, grimy.
Yeah, I think it's more like the Clapper than it is like Win It All.
No, I disagree hugely. I thought this was
the Clapper's better.
No, it's not. Now you're just being ridiculous.
I'm not. I hated this.
I thought this was enjoyable.
Cool.
It's
fun when we don't agree. That's what we're here for. It's going to make the stream table interesting.
I did. I like these. I thought their interactions were interesting. I liked the setup. Yeah, I was along for the ride. I genuinely wanted to see how this was going to play out at the end.
So that's fine. If that's, I'm not as angry as I should be. You guys are going to have to let us know now. You guys are going to have to watch it and let us know what you think, and we'll see who was right and who was wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about this.
Stop it. Should we talk? Well, I don't want to talk about the stream table now. Do we do that next? Yeah, we do the stream table first, don't we?
Yep.
That's the worst film on there.
It's the best film we've seen this season.
So what is there? There's 3 films on there. There's Malevolent.
Yep.
And iBoy.
Yeah.
iBoy's at the top at the minute.
Yeah.
So we're not going to agree on this. So can we just split the difference? We just put it in the middle? If this had come later in a season, that would have been really difficult.
No, this is the best thing we've seen.
I'm not having it at the top.
Well, I'm not having it at the top. This is a better film than iBoy.
It isn't. It isn't even a better film than Malevolent.
It is.
It's not. It's not. It is not going at the top of the stream table.
It has to. It's not even a question.
Stop it.
Honestly.
We're going to have to split the difference. There's only 3 films in there. We're going to have to. There's no other way around it.
No.
What do you mean no? You can't just say no. You can't just say no. There's the only compromise that we can come to.
I don't want to compromise.
Well, I'm not. You have to.
Don't you owe me one?
No. It's a new season. We just stare at each other out now.
All I'm saying is, remember Bon Cop, Bad Cop. I'm
not wrong on this one. I swear, I'm not wrong on this one. This is a boring, boring film. It's got to go second.
I've said my piece.
Fine. It's got to go second. It has to. It shouldn't do, but it has to.
We're going to... Yes, but we've got to be... No, seriously, though. We've got to be careful, because otherwise we'll end up in a weird situation again, where we'll like other stuff.
I'm not going to like anything less than this all season. I would guarantee it.
But that means iBoy is going to be in this weird position where I think this is better.
Like Bon Cop, Bad Cop was last year.
I can't believe you think this is a worse film than those two. It's not.
It is. Wow.
You're not going to... Are you seriously not going to move?
No. I can't have it at the top.
It's only 3 films.
Yeah.
It's 3 films.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be top at the end.
It's definitely not going to be top at the end.
It's 3 films in. Surely. Come on.
Fucking hell. You massively owe me one. Massively owe me one. Fine. I would stand defeated. Rom-coms are not my thing, so maybe I am overjudging it. I hated it. I can't put into words how much I hate it.
Objectively, this is a better film than the other two that we've seen so far.
I can't. But it pains me to say it, but let's put it at the top of the stream table.
You're a gentleman.
You owe me. You owe me
fine.
Big. We have to do our new feature, which we still don't have a name for now, which is what's the one thing you would do to make this film better?
You go first.
I think this film's beyond repair. I would change the director to somebody who's more comedical.
Do you mean like...
This needs to be more stupid comedy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think more as in more like visual gags or scripts or...
The script isn't funny. The script needs to be funny. I don't know comedy films very well, but I can't think of like a stupid comedy director. Maybe, who's that guy? Who's the guy who did Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to make it a Judd Apatow film.
Fine.
I think that might make it work. Do you? Does that work?
I mean, yeah, potentially. I mean, I think what I would like to do with it...
I know what I'd like to do with it.
It's maybe not...
Chuck it in the fucking sea.
Weirdly, it's maybe not that different from your idea, is I think you could have a bit of a stronger comic foil. And I think like that Paul character that Giovanni Ribisi played, I'd have liked more of him.
Yeah.
And he could have done some of that.
How about
pratfalling and...
How about if he plays the role of Danny?
What, instead of Kevin Corrigan?
Instead of Kevin Corrigan. I didn't believe that relationship because he's considerably older than those two.
Yeah.
And considerably uglier than those two. And the first time she leant in to kiss him, it just made me think, why are you kissing that creepy old man?
I do agree with your criticism now. Because
so, if Giovanni Ribisi plays that character instead, that makes it slightly more believable.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe swap them.
Swap those two characters.
And maybe Kevin Corrigan could have gone, he could have played the lawyer, but give him a bigger role. Give that character a bigger role.
That works. That'd be genuinely might work. With Judd Apatow directing it.
Why not?
Why not? That's the first time we've done that feature properly. And that's exactly what I was hoping we'd get from it. So we've just made that film better by changing an actor and changing a director. Cool. Shall we pick next week's film?
Yes, let's do that.
What were you going to say?
No, I've just thought of something else that I wanted to mention, but we'll do it after.
Okay.
Pick the film first.
Find me randomizer. What are you looking for from next week?
Well, I said last week a full-on action film, so I'll stick with that.
Okay, cool. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It has picked a film called The Discovery.
Okay.
Any ideas? Ever heard of it?
No.
What do you think it is?
I'm going for a cheap Netflix version of an Indiana Jones film.
Oh, good idea.
Let's have some action. Yeah. I have no idea what it is.
It is, according to IMDb, it is a drama, romance, sci-fi thriller.
Oh, just covering all the bases.
It says 2 years after the afterlife is scientifically proven, a man attempts to help a young woman break away from her dark past.
Ominous.
Ominous indeed. Oh, wow. Stars Robert Redford.
Oh.
And Jason Segel and Rooney Mara.
Oh, that is quite impressive.
You know what that means? 2 weeks of How I Met Your Mother characters.
Nice.
How random's that? Jason Segel was in How I Met Your Mother. Okay, yeah, so check out The Discovery. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram and Twitter at BOTS_podcast. Facebook.com/bottom of the stream. Patreon.com/bottom of the stream, where you will find, if you give us a couple of quid every month, we'll give you some bonus episodes. We'll give you some early access to the episodes sometimes. We'll give you a wild card if you come in at a certain level. And Nick writes a newsletter every month that only the Patreons get to read. And you can also now check us out on Discord. I'll put the Discord link in the show notes. So if you want to click on that and join us in there, we'll just have a chat with you.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm totally new to Discord until about 2 weeks ago, but it's got some cool features.
It's got some really cool features. Features.
You can have a chat with us. So yeah, find us on there. If you can't contribute on Patreon, then please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser or on Podbean or anywhere that you can review podcasts. Maybe scroll it on the side of a kettlebell next time you're at the gym. Who knows?
Do it. Cool. And if you do that and then check out The Discovery, we'll come back next week to talk to you about it.
Cheers.
Bye.